I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Atlanta. Gil Guanc and Larry Tittle on the front row. Blake Veek and Paulo Anacito on the second row. Richie Joplin and Ryan Warp on the third row. Stephen Lindner and Tim St. Jean on the fourth row. Gerald Thanos Poole and Jim Mott round out the top 10. Kevin Bruner starting in 11th next to Darrell Whitford in 12th. John Shermott's in 13th. DJ the Iceman Kenner in 14th. Jeff Oakes in 15th. Mark the Man Dan Tuma in 16th. Derek Schilling in 17th. Robert Eggert in 18th. And Mike Burgess rounding out the 19-car field here tonight. And good evening, Blake. Good luck, DJ. Hey, good evening, Russell. Everybody getting lined up, stacked up, and ready to go out on the back straightaway. It's going to be non-stop, nose to tail, bumper to bumper, inches apart all night long. Drivers looking at about 23 to 26 laps on a tank of fuel. Does mean it is going to be a two-stop race here tonight. And here we go, the pace car dives to pit road. And the green flag flies there, down and away in Atlanta. Unlike Daytona and Talladega, though, despite the draft racing, they will get up to full speed by the time they are back to the start-finish line. First, they've got to make that first lap. Everybody trying to get heat into those tires, find some grip, and grip it to the front. As Blake Veekin already up top going for the lead. No help for Blake at the moment. And Gil Guanc will lead lap 1. Points leader Richie Joplin right on his bumper. Drivers head back down the back straightaway toward turn 3. Top 2 go single file. Gil and Richie. Stephen Lindner now in third. Paulo Anacito has lost some ground here in the early going. He has slipped back to 8th. Kevin Bruner, though, with no practice, already up a couple of spots in the 9th. About to grab a few more. We mentioned it during pre-race that this track, the Iceman appears to be in the wall. He is losing some ground. And DJ is completely out of the draft. He is going to lose ground quickly. He is going to need a caution and quick. He's going to be about a second a lap slower. I mentioned it during pre-race that normally when we're at the new configuration of Atlanta, it's hot and greasy out on track. Track temperature, though, it is night. We're under the lights at 70 degrees. These boys are going to have a lot of grip to use here tonight. Continues to lead, but Richie's going to move to the high line with the push from Blake. Derek Schilling also on the move here tonight. Schilling already up 5 spots into 12th. . Mark Dantuma picking up a couple of spots here early. A few close calls coming out of turn 2. Whip the wall. No harm, no foul. Oh, Polo gets a bump from behind. He's back into the wall. No caution yet. Tim St. Jean in trouble. Several cars checked up. And we may not see the caution. They did clear the racing surface. Holy cow. All right, let's see if we can see what the heck happened a moment ago. Tim St. Jean nose to tail with Paulo. Tim a little swirly right on Paulo's bumper, gets Paulo loose. Let's take another look. Tim has taken it to pit road. Blimp's a little bit high. Let's see if we can get the chopper's view of this one. There you see just a little bit of bump into the turn. Paulo comes back up. Most of the field able to avoid it. But wow, what a setback here early. Meanwhile, Blake Viken has taken to the lead. Ritchie trying to get back by. John Shermans has the fastest lap at the moment, back in 10th. But Mark Dantuma just set a fast lap as Dantuma back in 12th. As Daryl Whitford on the bumper, they are still within striking distance of the lead group. Paulo Aniceto back behind. Does not look like Paulo took a whole lot of damage on that. He should be okay to stay in the draft, but remember, Home Motorsports, they do not have any fast repairs. Tim is likely to be on pit road for a while, getting that car fixed. That is a huge setback. Tim was just outside the top 10 at points coming into the night. He needed a good finish to get back up in the fight for the title. And with those couple of early incidents, the field has separated. The top 12 all right there. Now that Dantuma and Whitford have caught, Dantuma and Oaks have caught back up, but Daryl Whitford back in 13th, way behind Mike Burgess in 14th. Burgess, Eggert, and Paulo all right there together, and they are closing in on Whitford. So they have help coming. DJ Kenner, after getting the wall in the opening laps, he is way back, as is Jim Mott. Jim was the other car that got caught up in that 3-car incident in turn 3. Blake continues to lead. Ritchie still leading the outside line. I don't believe Ritchie has led a lap yet. You know, he's tried to lead a lap in every race so far this season. He does lead the points with 2 wins and 1 pole. But one of the biggest things for Ritchie right now, he has picked up 15 bonus points so far this season. and his points lead at the moment over Mark Dantuma is exactly 15 points. Second in points, Mark Dantuma just cruising along back in second. Third in points, John Talley, not here tonight. Jeff Oakes comes in tonight, fourth in points. Jeff currently running in 11th. Jim Mott has taken it to pit road. He is going to try and get that car fixed up for fresh Goodyears and see what he can do. This is Blake Viken's first season with Home Motorsports. Oh, we've got some. Look like Steven Lindner kissed the wall out of turn 4. No harm, no foul. He did not lose any momentum. As I was saying, Blake Viken, his first full season here. He's not run every race. This is only his third race of the season, but every week he is picking up ground. Up to 24th in points and likely to make up a lot here tonight if he can pull off the win. But still a long way to go. As we close in on the first round of green flag stops. Drivers did say 23 to 26 laps on a tank of fuel. However, those fuel numbers did come during practice when they had a bit of sunlight out there. Track temperature was a little bit warmer. Air temp was a little bit warmer. Fuel numbers, we're going to have to figure them out on the fly and see how they are looking. Blake up front will use the most fuel, as will Richie Joplin. Some of these guys likely just laying in wait. Conserve the car, conserve the fuel, and see what they can do later on. Kevin Bruner now up in the 9th. John Shermott's in 10th. Jeff Oakes in 11th. Mark Dantuma in 12th. That group back behind, led now by Mike Burgess, 13th on back. About 10.5 seconds back, but they are single. Whoa, Burgess way up the track. Looks like he may have gotten a bad bump. Something definitely went wrong there. Eggert will take the lead of this second pack. But they did lose some ground. Now 10.8 seconds behind the lead pack. Looks like everybody pretty much staying pretty calm at the moment, taking it easy. Richie Joplin still up on that high line all alone. Lindner still up on the high line as well, but several car lengths back. Looks like the back half of this lead group is broken up just a little bit. Kevin Bruner, Jeff Oakes, Mark Dantuma still within the draft of the lead pack, but hanging back just a little bit. And it does look like Richie has finally slid into line. He sits third in line. Now Lindner has the outside line to himself for the moment. Everybody is within their fuel window, just waiting to see who's going to be first to bring them in. Really surprised we ain't seen anybody in yet. again, DJ. My Discord name is LSW Daddy. Here we go. Pit stops are underway. Blake brings them in. Steven Lindner stays out. He will assume the lead here. Larry Tittle, John Shermott, Jeff Oakes, Mark Dantuma, and Kevin Bruner all stayed out. Remember, none of these drivers have led tonight. So all of them likely sat in the draft and just conserved fuel, as it does look like Lindner is going to come in. A few of them are going to go even further. Hope you're doing well tonight as well, DJ. Hope you're having a great day, buddy. And looks like Larry Tittle's going to bring this in. John Shermott is staying out. Well, this is a bold strategy. He's going to lose a lot of time due to the fact he has no drafting help. Richie Joplin, meanwhile, leads them back out after their pit stops. Steven Lindner rolling his way back out as well. Once they cycle through and everybody gets back out on track, we'll see how they run. Ryan Warp is going to try and take the lead from Richie here. He's got help from Blake. Remember, everybody is out here on cold, fresh tires. Oh man, they are racing close. Larry Tittle currently scored as the leader as he comes off pit road, but here comes Oakes. Dan Tuma, there is the pack. And these guys are at full speed. The guys just ahead or not, things could get spicy here. They're going to end up being 3 wide through 3 and 4. Ryan gets really close to the wall. Wow, that got close. That got very close, and Ryan's still right up by the wall with a push from Blake. Meanwhile, Jeff Oakes just ahead has the lead for the moment. Richie almost to the apron going for the lead. Richie wants that bonus point, and I think he's going to get it this time. Richie Joplin will lead at the line for the first time tonight. Took some gutsy moves getting there. Holy cow. Looks like everybody is back out on track. DJ Kenner, Gerald Poole, Mike Burgess, and Jim Mott, all 1 or more laps down. Tim St. Jean appears to be out of the race for tonight. A heartbreaking end to the night for Tim. Oh, Ryan Warp, a problem coming out of turn 4. He was practically sideways. See if we can see what happened with Ryan just a moment ago. There's Ryan sitting in second place as they come out of turn 3 and 4. Ryan starts to peak low. Settles back into line behind Richie. Back down into 1 and 2. Everybody pretty much staying single file for the moment. Down the back straightaway. Does not appear Ryan is pushing the issue for the lead. He got squirrely coming into 3 and 4. Gets loose, but man, what a save. Ryan holds on to it. He is still in the fight. Jeff Oakes, Blake Viken, and Mark Dantuma, your top 4. Larry Tittle leads that second group about 1 1/4 seconds back in 5th. Ryan Ward back behind in 6th. Gil Guac leads a third group in 7th. And this group is a mix of leaders and lap cars with Gil Guac, Derek Schilling, Steve Lindner, Kevin Bruner. John Shermotz leads a 3-car pack back behind with Daryl Whitford and Robert Eggert. Paulo Anacito and Mike Burgess back behind. The Iceman mixed in with that second group, as is Thanos. Jim Mott has found himself a little help with one of these groups. Now, the top 4 are out front. And they are pulling away from 5th place Larry Tittle at the moment. But Gil Guac leads that bigger group closing in, and once they form up, if they get single file, they can catch that top 2 quickly. Well, we've got 1 car in the wall in 3 and 4. Larry Tittle lost a lot of ground there, and he has dropped back to 9th place with Kevin Bruner right there on him. Gil Guac on the high side will move into 5th. Ryan behind one of the lap cars. Jim Mott at the moment. Now at the moment, Gil is about 1.4 seconds behind the leaders, but that lead pack is single file, nose to tail. Just past the halfway point in this one. So far, green flag. Although I do have to say, it has stayed green flag, but we have seen a few close calls so far tonight. And a lot of those close calls coming out of this second pack. And caution! Caution is out for the first time tonight. Gil Guac and Stephen Lindner involved. I guess we'll call that one the broadcaster's curse. I shouldn't have said anything. Let's see what happened. Gil Guac on that high line. Oh, Lindner pushes up as they come out of 4. Fortunately, should be minimal damage for both drivers. Take a look from another angle here. There's Lindner on the bottom, just comes up off the apron, barely gets into Gil. It's just enough. That point in the turn, they are really loose. Fortunately, Gil does not hit anything. They both drive away clean and will maintain the lead lap. Most of the field is on pit road. The Richie Joplin is staying out for the moment, but they cannot make it from here on fuel. They're about 5 laps short on fuel. I'm betting a lot of these drivers will take 4 tires, fill it up. That way, if it stays green, all they need is a splash of fuel from here. Richie continuing to stay out. Coming off pit road, looks like Dan Tuma took fuel only on his stop. Jeff Oakes, Blake Veeken, Ryan Warp, and Derek Schilling, 4 tires in fuel. Robert Eggert and John Shermods, looks like fuel only for both of them. Larry Tittle, Gil Guac, Stephen Lindner, Kevin Bruner, 4 tires in fuel. Daryl Whitford and Gerald Poole also fuel only. Paulo Anacito was on pit road an extended amount of time getting repairs. 15 cars still on the lead lap. I'm doing good, DJ. How are you doing tonight, buddy? All right, here they come through 3 and 4. Pace car dives in. And the green flag flies once again in Atlanta. Now remember, they are just a couple laps short on fuel right now, about 2 laps short. There's a few of these drivers that might be able to stretch it from here if they had topped off. But I did not see anybody top off on that last lap. Definitely going to make things interesting from here. Remember, Richie did not come in at all. If the caution does not come back out, he might be in trouble. Mark Dantuma did not take fresh tires, and Derek Schilling, a big run out of the front straightaway, hops to the high side through 1 and 2, past Ryan Ward, now even with Dantuma. They're taking that high line work for the moment. Single file back half 2 wide. 26 laps to go. Richie crosses the line, 25 laps to go, and everybody is within the fuel window now. Now is when we see what kind of strategy these guys are going to play out tonight. Remember, Kevin Bruner up there on the high side got no practice, didn't even get into the car until qualifying, but right now Bruner runs in 10th. Oh, he bounces off the wall. Burgess just barely avoids him. Bruner's losing ground quick. Evan drifts back to 15th. He has lost the lead draft and may have taken on some damage. He hit the wall pretty hard. Richie leading on the inside. Dan Tuma has some help up top. Dan Tuma gets a big push from Ryan Wharf as they go into turn 3. But Jeff Oakes on the bottom helping Richie for the moment. And now the whole field too wide for the moment. Back there at 10th, definitely one of the cars to watch late in this race. If it is a drafting race, Gerald's going to be in the fight at the end. Everybody getting a little squirrely coming out of 4 that time. Did take tires on that stop. A lot of them took, actually the majority took 4 tires and fuel, so they'd only need to make a splash and go. Some of them took fuel only, anticipating another caution. You can definitely tell who does not have fresh tires. They are flying around and having issues coming out of the turn. Robert Eggert currently in 8th place in that 10 car on the bottom. Eggert already up 10 spots tonight and quietly making his way toward the front, as it looks like a little bit of the pack may have separated. 11th place, John Shermott's on back. And oh, here comes the leader. Richie is headed in. Jeff Oakes quickly moves to fill the gap. He will take the lead. No, Dan Tuma leads it at the line. So Dan Tuma also picking up bonus points for leading a lap here. Hey, good evening, Songbird. Richie has completed his stop on his way back out. But he will drop back into 17th. It was fuel only for Richie. Jeff Oakes leads that time, also picking up points. Derek Schilling on the move as well, up top. Schilling currently up 12 spots into 5th, but just below him in that red car, Robert Eggert now up 12 spots into 6th. 15 laps to go at Atlanta, and most of this field still needs a little bit of fuel. If a caution comes out, Might not even need to pit. Just the slower pace lap should give them enough to get there. But if a green light checker were to pop off, they would definitely have to get more fuel. It's going to be close, and it's going to be tricky. And if we don't see some guys in very soon, there is a high possibility of seeing a few drivers run out on the final lap. Mark Dantuma now in the lead. Remember, out front, he is using more fuel than anybody else, breaking the win. Folks, don't forget, right after the broadcast, we'll hop off for just a few moments. Then you can come back and join the Unicorn as she takes to the roads of America. Come join the convoy and the laughs in American Truck Sim. It is worth noting, Mark Dantuma started in 16th as the lead. Jeff Oakes started in 15th, currently sitting in second. Blake Viken currently in third, right where he started. Robert Eggert up 14 spots into fourth. Gil Guak currently holding on to fifth. Derek Schilling in sixth. Gerald Poole in third. Derek Schilling in seventh. Gerald Poole in 8th, Paul Inesito in 9th, and Steven Lindner in 10th. That caution really helped Paul Inesito out. DJ Kenner still in that lead pack, back in 16th. He has trapped a lap down as well after that early incident, but he has managed to stay in the fight. Nobody else other than Richie Joplin has ducked in for fuel yet. Remember, we were looking at most of this field being a lap or two shy, maybe even 3 laps shy on fuel after that caution. You have to wonder what the drivers and crews and teams are thinking right now. Do they duck in and top off? Do they wait and see? Do they just flat-foot it from here and run what you got? 7 laps to go. About the only choice you have now is run what you got and hope for a late race caution that doesn't involve you. Dantuma has yet to pull off a win this season. Jeff Oakes does have 1 win on the season. I do not believe Blake Viken. No, Blake does not have a win yet this season either. Blake has been lurking back there in third. With 5 laps to go, a lot of these drivers have yet to go to victory lane this season. Somebody runs out of fuel here. It could be their lucky night. Oh, they're setting up. Here they come. Dan Tuma brings them in. Dan Tuma leads the field onto pit road. Most of these guys will be a splash and go. Robert Eggert assumes the lead. And this just made Robert Eggert is coming in. So Gil Guac will assume the lead. And look who's lurking. Oh, we've got a car in the grass. Caution is out with 3 to go. And this just threw everything up in the air. Several cars were still on pit road. A few drivers may end up trapped, laps down. Let's see what happened. Steven Lindner coming down, just barely comes across the nose of the 28 and goes through the grass. No harm, did not get into the wall, no damage, he'll be okay. And now, once everybody cycles through stops, we'll see where everybody stands. This may have trapped Mark Dantuma. Mark Dantuma is out of the race. Kevin Bruner is trapped a lap down. Richie Joplin is trapped a lap down. And Daryl Whitford takes the lead. Man, what a wild, wild finish this has turned out to be. A lot of drivers still on pit road at the moment. Gil Guac, John Shermott, Gerald Poole. Looks like fuel only for most of them. Richie Joplin gets the lucky dog. He will go back to the lead, or back to the lead lap. Kevin Bruner appears to have had a problem a moment ago. He has towed it in, as has Steven Lindner. I am not sure what happened here with Bruner. Did he run out of fuel on his way back? And obviously we saw Lindner a moment ago through the grass, and he may be out of fuel here as well. Well, that'll shake things up quite a bit, because some of these drivers were on pit road or on their way to pit road when the caution flew, trapping a bunch of cars 1 or more laps down and leaving only 8 cars on the lead lap, led by Daryl Whitford and Gil Guac. John Shermott's Gerald Poole on the second row, Derek Schilling, Robert Eggert on the third row, Larry Tittle and Richie Joplin round out the 8 cars still in the fight. And we will have a green-white checkered finish here tonight, folks. All right, here we go. Out of turn 4, pace car dives it in. 2 laps to go in Atlanta. And the green flag flies. They are back underway. 2 laps to go. Whitford quickly clearing traffic. John Shermott's moving into second. Gerald already looks to the middle. He goes up the middle 3 wide. Out at turn 2, they're single file ahead. Burgess drops low. He is dropping back. Whitford is going in. Shermott's to the lead. Gerald is around. Reckon out of 3 and 4. No caution yet. White flag one more time around. John Shermott's, Derek Schilling out front battling for the lead. Robert Eggert in third. Larry Tittle back behind with Gerald Poole fourth and fifth. It's going to be a drag race. They bang doors through 3 and 4. Shermott's has the nose ahead. Down to the line. It is Derek Schilling with the win at the line. What a finish. All right, wow. Before we talk to our top 3, let's take a quick look. See if we can dial up our chopper. And looking down at Gerald Thanos Poole, it just come out at 3 wide. Ryan Warp just barely taps him, but you see it causes that big stack up, and wow. And then this. Side by side through 3 and 4, banging doors out of the turn. Looking down from the spotter stand and at the line. It is by a nose. Derek Schilling gets the win by 1/1000th of a second. And let's see who of our top 3 we have got available. The color of the laps? I'll see what I can do, buddy. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Robert Eggert. Robert, you were coming through the field quietly all night, but man, did you imagine the finish was going to be like that?
No, not at all. I'm not a big fan of these super speedways, so I was just trying to bide my time and keep the nose clean.
Well, you definitely did that, man. We noted throughout the night, you just quietly pick up 3 or 4 spots here and there. By the end of the night, up 15 spots, the second biggest mover of the night. That was a heck of a run.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was that first accident that didn't turn into a caution kind of separated everybody, and we just kind of tried to make up ground after that.
Well, you definitely got the ground made up in a big, big way, buddy. That was one heck of a run, and great job recovering to come home in third.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
John Shermott's comes home in second, and John, that doesn't get any closer.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me. Wasn't sure who crossed the line first there, but unfortunately, he had a little more momentum on the outside. But congratulations to him. It was a good, clean race.
Well, you guys definitely were running it last lap style through 3 and 4, leaning on each other. Both of you trying to get any advantage you could there.
Yeah, tried to race clean, tried to race hard. With 5 or 10 laps to go there, I thought I might be able to make it on fuel. So I started to fall back and conserve fuel a little bit. And then I just didn't think I'd be able to make it. So I came in and got a minimum fuel load there. Didn't change any tires and came out near the front there. But good, clean race. Congratulations to Derek. He fought it hard. He deserved the win.
Well, great job, buddy. Congratulations. Awesome, awesome finish.
Yeah. Thanks, Doug, for all you do. Thanks, Kevin, for the series. Enjoy racing with these guys.
All right, buddy. Great job. And finally, our winner by 1/1000th of a second. Derek, it don't get no closer than that, but you had just enough nose on the car.
that that was intense. I started to congratulate John after we crossed the finish line. Then all of a sudden, all my scoring stuff changed, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I did it."
Well, man, it doesn't get any closer than that finish. I believe it was 1/1000th of a second. That was a heck of a battle to the finish line.
Yeah, I got to give it to him. I leaned on him a lot more than what he really leaned on me. I knew that was really my only shot to try and get anything on him. I just had no choice but to lean on him. And it ended up working out. I'm lucky he gave me the high side, too.
That little bit of momentum out of turn 4 definitely paid off. But, man, you fought hard for it tonight. You came from way back in 17th, the biggest mover of the night on top of it.
Yeah, and I got your Guns N' Roses finally in victory lane.
I was so happy to see that, man. That was an awesome night and one heck of an epic finish, buddy. You definitely earned it tonight. Congrats.
Well, thanks, and appreciate, Kevin and them for putting on the league, you for broadcasting. This is a heck of a group of guys. I mean, it's so rare that we get more than 1 or 2 cautions. It just shows you how respectful everybody runs each other.
It definitely does. You guys put on a heck of a show, and most of the cars come home clean. The fact that so many cars finish when you don't have a fast repair is a testament to how good you guys are.
Yeah, I actually finished with like 6 contacts. Most of them were from that first accident that we didn't get that caution for. I plowed into the back of Kevin. I didn't see everybody checking up, and I just plowed him. I saw his back end all crinkled up, and I'm like, oh, no, my front end's jacked. This is going to be a long night.
Well, it worked out in your favor, man. A great job. You got Guns N' Roses in victory lane. Great, great win, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks, and thank you for broadcasting.
My pleasure, man. Derek Schilling gets the win, but folks, don't forget, make sure you come back here in about 10 minutes and say hi to the unicorn. Actually, probably in about 5 minutes. Come back and say hello to the unicorn. Let her know you're cheering her on as well. Come watch the chaos as the HTSAI Community Convoy rolls down the road. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. We'll see you back in a few. Have a great night, everybody.